There's a lot of attention being put onto Mother Teresa these days. And um, for me, we all have these guides that we don't even know that we're aware of, and or you don't even know that you can use a guide. But Mother Teresa was kind of a guide for me. The only messages that I got from Mother Teresa was just be strong in yourself and what you choose to believe in. And that's kind of given me strength to be strong in what I believe in and be guided, in the direction I want to be guided to, and don't give a shit what other people say. Just do your thing. Now, did Mother Teresa actually do anything that was good? I mean, is she really, really saintly? It's like that's what the debate is all about. And what is it that she actually did? Well, she took a vow of poverty. How good was that? You know, she had a lot of very, very wealthy friends who donated a lot of, money. And what did she do with all that money? Built a lot of nice little homes for a lot of nuns to live in because they can't live in poverty, you know. If you're going to help people out, you can't be living in poverty all the time. So, not really sure how much poverty she actually lived in. She built a lot of orphanages. There's a good thing. Built little homes for a bunch of orphans. Um, but did she actually solve the reason why there are orphans? Like she worked with leopards, but did she actually do anything that solved the problem as to why that illness was being experienced? Most of that, if you kind of understand what an illness is or what a virus is, it's like all of these wealthy people that are donating all of their money, they're the ones that are creating the viruses. And we can't really make that connection yet. She made everybody, her belief was that, her purpose in life, what God wanted her to do was to be in poverty. God wanted her to be in poverty. So, what was her message to everybody in poverty? That God wanted you to live in poverty. So, that kind of sustained the poverty. I mean, if she really did make a massive change like a saint should be doing, then why are we experiencing so much poverty on a global basis? What was her message? What energy did she put out into the world that actually made a difference? She funded schools, but let's kind of look at her schools just design you to be the wealthy guy so you can take advantage of the poor. So it's like, is education really a good thing to, put out into the world if your education system's all fucked up and, it's just a way of guiding people to be sheep that destroys the freaking planet? I mean, a good education system should, get you to realize you have a full potential, get you to realize how to use your brain. Most of your brain you don't even use. It's just on, a tape recorder of what somebody else wants you to tape record and replay that message over and over again until you believe it's true. Don't listen to yourself. Don't listen to your intuition. Don't listen to your own personal guidance of where you should be guided to. Don't solve any of your own problems. Just be more of the problem. So, it was Mother Teresa like evil? She didn't really put too much good out into the world. So, if everything that's not good, and we consider everything that's not good to be evil, would Mother Teresa be considered to be an evil being that we want to make a saint out of? Now, I'm going by the philosophy that, okay, we just didn't know what was true. We're in this phase of humanity where we did everything that's wrong. And what's the purpose of going through everything that's wrong? Oh, to maybe discover everything that's right. Hell, I was wrong. Hell, everybody else on the planet's wrong. So, can't we just see that maybe some of these elites and some of these churches and some of these people that we think were saints aren't actually smart, aren't actually saints, but they did the best they could. They were doing everything wrong so that we could know what was right. I don't necessarily think they're all that bad people. They meant well, even though they kind of screwed up the planet. And then Brad Pitt kind of looked at some videos on Katrina, and a lot of the truth that went on there is still not being told. Um, a lot of people were driven out of their homes. A lot of low income people that were living in poverty, they basically wanted to get rid of everybody in that area that lived in poverty, like just kick them all out. And all of the low income housing, they were preventing them from going out and cleaning their houses so that they could live in them. They weren't giving electricity to, they didn't provide any basic needs to anybody that was living in the impoverished areas. But the guys that were wealthy sure got their power and their services awfully fast. And a lot of people were evicted from their homes. They were not allowed to go back to their homes, not allowed to go back and get their stuff, or even just return home. So while they weren't even able to go there and return home, they ended up getting a lot of eviction notices that you pretty much have to let somebody know you're being evicted before you get evicted, and then how do you evict somebody that just went through a tragedy like Katrina and expect them to come up with money right away to pay for your rent? I mean, if it wasn't water that's going to kick you out, it's going to be the wealth that kicks you out. And what did they do? They tore down a lot of the low income areas and built nice big expensive homes that nobody could afford to live in. And which brings me to Brad Pitt. What did this guy do? He built what, 20 homes that were a couple $1 million, or worth. The value of these homes were outrageous, and he only built about 20 of them. Where his money could have been spent in building hundreds of lower income homes that people could afford, because after all, you're living in an area that was now totally destroyed. There is no businesses, there's no economic system. So anybody that moved there, where are you going to even earn your money to be able to afford to live in an expensive house? Brad Pitt wasn't really using his head there. So is Brad Pitt really evil? Let's look at what was his motivating factor. He loves technology, or he loves architecture and technology and cleaning up the planet, but he's also friggin' wealthy. His mentality is stuck on everybody lives in wealth. I'm wealthy, so everybody's wealthy. So he built homes that he could afford and not really looked at, okay, people, what is it you need? Let me help you in the way you need help in. No, he just sort of pushed his way that he could build these nice little paintings so that everybody can worship the paintings that he created. Oh, what a nice guy, and look at what he did, pat him on the back, and what a nice big ego boost for himself. Where I would think that if he actually knew how to listen to people and listen to what they actually needed and try to be able to be the best that you can be, unfold your intelligent level, unfold your architecture abilities that meets the needs of what somebody actually wants, meets the needs of the community that you're trying to improve in. You know, so is Brad Pitt a little evil? Is Brad Pitt's ego causing him to be evil while his good intentions, you know, were so good? No, I don't think he was evil. I think he's, yes, he did have an ego that got in his way, and good intentions. When you push a good intention on another person, that's a sign that you're using your ego to solve any kind of problem, which will make you look like you're wrong, which will make you look like you're evil. And but it doesn't mean that you're evil. It just means you're wrong. And most of us are wrong. So it's like, okay, I wouldn't make Mother Teresa a saint. I wouldn't, put Brad Pitt on a big, huge pedestal that we should worship and say, oh my God, he's really good. I think we should just, okay, we're all wrong. What do we do now? How can we improve this? I really do believe that the people that are going to be able to pull us out are the people that have lived in hardship and that have been able to survive and know the meaning of life and know how to use their heads and know how to help other people out. They know how to listen to other people. They know how to be creative and provide opportunity without any money. You know, like there's a lot of people that have done a lot of things to help a lot of other people out, and it didn't take a lot of money to do so. And we need to get back to that. We need to start realizing that some people on the bottom have a little bit of information that would pull us out of it. It would be the people on the bottom that haven't quite lost their minds, you know, that are still able to say, hey, I have something to offer, you know, support me. Um, they might just have something to say, you know, but there are an awful lot of people that have dealt with an awful lot of hardship and they got stuck in their problem and are just repeating the problem over and over again. If you steal from me, then I'm going to steal from you. You know, two wrongs don't make a right. So we do have to jump out of this really insane cycle that just keeps getting repeated and repeated over thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It's just the same game. You know, like just when you think you've got a better idea that's going to be completely different, boom, after 1,000 years, you find out that that idea wasn't exactly the greatest. But I do think that the best direction we can go into is if every single person took responsibility for unfolding their solution through servicing other people, you know, listening to what other people need, not pushing what you think other people need, then that's something we've never tried before. We've never tried listening to other people. We've never tried saying, okay, what do you need? And then I'll try and figure out how I can help you out. You know, we don't do that. We assume we know what other people need, and then we push what our assumptions are on other people. We don't tend to listen to the needs of other people. But if we started to do that, that would be a change. Because nobody has ever tried listening to another person. We only listen to ourselves and push ourselves on other people. And I happen to think that's the same game that we play over thousands and thousands of years, and that needs to be changed. Peace out.